Prologue. Before talking about freedom, some pass through a forest and see nothing but firewood. Leo Tolstoy. Have you ever imagined looking at life from an angle in which guilt and justice are not automatic reflexes, but inherited ideas that were never examined? A lens in which our idea of freedom stops being a slogan, just want it badly enough, and becomes a real question: what in fact decides inside us? What drives our choices? What is under control? And what only seem to be? And what if that shift in perspective also changed the way you see people and yourself? What if it reduced the need to judge all the time and lowered the expectation that others deliver what they were never able to deliver? What if, instead of making life heavier, it made it more livable, not through illusion, but through understanding? There are questions we avoid not because they're difficult, but because they destabilize. Almost all of us grew up hearing phrases like, "You could have chosen differently, it was your choice, just want it." They sound responsible until the moment we ask what they actually mean. When a decision happens, were all alternatives truly available? Do we choose the will we feel, or do we merely react to it? Is the degree of control we have over ourselves something we choose, or something that happens to us? If we could not have acted differently, what would change in guilt, regret, injustice? This book is born from the sense that something does not quite fit in the way we talk about choices, merit, and responsibility. In the name of an absolute freedom, we demand from ourselves and from others a control that was never as clear as we imagined. And when that demand fails, it often turns into useless guilt, automatic judgment, and a justice that is too harsh, relentless with others, cruel with ourselves. What follows is not an attempt to justify real harms, nor to dissolve human action into fatalism, nor is it a mystical escape designed to preserve a total freedom. It is an attempt to look at the human experience without shortcuts, to understand how decisions happen, how wills arise, and how the feeling of control can be a construction, sometimes necessary, often misleading. There's a concrete gain in this. When you distinguish choice from will, responsibility from guilt, consequence from revenge, something changes in practical life. You begin to demand less of the impossible and more of what is real. And with that, you reduce part of the suffering that is born not from life itself, but from the interpretation we make of it. If, along the reading, you feel resistance, strangeness, or irritation, do not treat it as a sign of failure. Treat it as an indicator. An illusion is being touched, and illusions rarely yield without friction. If there is a promise, it is simple, not the promise of immediate peace, but of clarity. And sometimes, clarity is the most honest form of peace.